You ever wonder why two men can say the exact same words to a woman, but only one of them sparks that instant intrigue, while the other gets friend-zoned or flat out ignored? Here's what's wild. Attraction isn't logical. It's not fair. It's not even conscious most of the time. It's primal, instinctive, and brutally efficient. There was a psychological experiment done at a university in the US where two actors, same outfit, same script, approached women with identical conversations. One of them triggered smiles, interest, flirtation. The other got cold responses and disinterest. The only difference? One understood how to use nonverbal cues. His energy, eye contact, voice tone, micro-expressions. The other just didn't. That's when it hits you. Women aren't just listening to your words. They're reading your entire nervous system. So today we're diving deep. Not into generic tips or surface-level dating hacks, but the real psychological mechanisms behind why some men attract women almost instantly, while others blend into the background. This is next-level stuff, backed by behavioral science, neurochemistry, and real-world human dynamics. And no, it's not about pretending to be someone else's seat, about amplifying what's already powerful in you, but probably buried under overthinking, self-doubt, or bad advice. So if you've ever felt like women don't see you, or they say you're nice but never feel that spark, this video is going to flip the script for you completely. Because the truth is, attraction isn't something you force, it's something you trigger, often within the first 10 seconds of interaction. And once you understand how it actually works, you'll never look at conversations, body language, or even your own mindset the same way again. Let's get into it. Here's the first key principle. Emotional impact over logical value. Most men try to impress women with achievements, status, money, or intellect. But the truth is, attraction isn't based on facts, it's based on feeling. According to a landmark study by psychologist Antonio Damasio, people don't make decisions with logic. They use emotion and then justify it later with logic. This means a man who knows how to make her feel something, curiosity, excitement, tension, playfulness, will always win over the man listing his resume. Want to stand out instantly? Learn to create emotional spikes. Tease playfully. Tell stories with tension. Use contrasts in your speech. Light and dark, mystery and humor, silence and intensity. Emotional variability is powerful. Why do bad boys get attention? Not because they're bad. It's because they're emotionally unpredictable. They break patterns. And pattern breaking triggers dopamine, which brings us to the next core principle, neurochemical arousal. When a woman meets you, her brain is scanning for signals. Is he safe? Is he confident? Is he socially intelligent? But more importantly, does he activate my nervous system? Dopamine is the curiosity chemical. Oxytocin is the trust chemical. And adrenaline is the thrill chemical. When you approach with grounded eye contact, a relaxed smile, and slightly teasing energy, you're triggering all three. Most men either trigger nothing or trigger anxiety. You want to live in that sweet spot between certainty and unpredictability. That's where attraction brews. Now let's talk about self-regulation, a massively underrated trait that women subconsciously test for. When a woman playfully challenges you, delays a text, or teases you, she's not trying to be difficult. She's trying to see, can this man hold his frame under pressure? A man who reacts emotionally, gets defensive, or tries to prove himself, fails the test. But the man who stays calm, smiles, doesn't flinch, that's the man who passes. Why? Because he signals emotional safety. Evolutionarily, women needed to know their mate wouldn't panic under stress. Fast forward to modern dating, and it still applies. Frame control, emotional regulation, and the ability to stay non-reactive while still being present. That's an instant turn-on. Let's zoom in on voice and breath, two invisible attraction tools most guys ignore. Confident men breathe deeper, slower, and speak with intentional pauses. Why? Because fast, shallow breathing is associated with anxiety. Slow, rhythmic speech tells her nervous system, I'm safe. I'm grounded. I lead. Harvard research shows people judge dominance more by how you speak than what you say. So if you want to trigger instant respect and attraction, Slow it down. Drop your voice slightly. Pause for effect. And never rush to fill silence. Silence is where tension builds, and tension is magnetic. Now here's something few men understand. Women are attracted to a man's relationship with himself. Not just how he looks, but how he carries his story. Does he shame his past? Or own it? Does he seek approval? Or give himself permission? A man who is deeply connected to his own sense of worth radiates a quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout. That's rare, and it's powerful. One of the most attractive traits? When a man can laugh at himself without losing self-respect. That shows emotional maturity. That shows security. And security is sexy. Let's get a bit deeper. There's a psychological concept called preselection. The idea that people are more attracted to those who are already desired by others. This is hardwired. In nature, females choose mates who already have status, mates, or perceived value, because it's a survival shortcut. You can use this ethically in your life by simply being socially calibrated, being around people who respect you, showing high standards, and demonstrating value subtly without bragging. When a woman sees that other women laugh at your jokes, that you lead social situations with ease, that you're not chasing approval, that activates preselection instinctively. Now let's flip the script and talk about vulnerability, but with strength. A man who can be open, but not needy, expressive, but not dramatic, is rare. Because vulnerability, when rooted in confidence, becomes magnetizing. When you talk about your challenges, your values, your journey, not as a way to impress, but as a way to connect, that creates emotional intimacy. It makes her feel like she's seeing the real you, not the performance. Most men hide behind personas. But the man who can say, "Yeah, I've been through that," or "This matters to me," while still holding his ground, that's rare. That's attractive. Let's talk presence, because nothing repels faster than distracted energy. Presence isn't just being in the moment. It's being so dialed in that she feels seen. Most men are half checked out, thinking about the next line, or looking at her lips, or glancing at their phone. But the men who attract instantly, they look her in the eye, really listen, and respond like nothing else exists in that moment. That kind of attention is rare in the world of swiping and scrolling. When you're truly present, you separate yourself from 99% of men out there. And now, let's give you a final advanced insight: identity-based attraction. Attraction isn't just about behavior. It's about who you believe you are. When your identity is, "I'm the kind of man women are naturally drawn to," everything changes. Your posture shifts. Your energy feels more grounded. You stop seeking and start choosing. And women feel that immediately. Identity shapes action, and action shapes results. So start showing up as the version of you who is already magnetic, already respected, already confident. Because attraction starts before you open your mouth. It starts with how you walk into the world. So if you've been struggling with why women don't notice you, or why they lose interest after a good first impression, it's not about looks or lines. It's about what you signal. And everything we've talked about today, certainty, emotional impact, presence, nonverbal cues, identity, is a signal. Upgrade those, and attraction becomes natural, effortless. I'll leave you with this. Attraction isn't something you chase. It's something you embody. And the moment you stop trying to be attractive and start becoming aligned with your most grounded, purpose-driven self, that's the moment women feel it. Instantly. Not because you said the right thing, but because you became the right energy.